Hey everyone, so I'm back in Quito, Ecuador, and I'm gonna make a video about my neighborhood and daily life in this part of Ecuador, in this part of Quito. I live in the Jipijapa neighborhood. It's North Quito. It's kind of a upper class neighborhood, though not super trendy fashionable, as you can see by the graffiti on the wall next to me. But it is a safe neighborhood. It's a really easy area to live. Rents are affordable. It's a safe place to walk around, and there's lots of close by restaurants and grocery stores and things like that. Jipijapa is right next to a kind of trendy neighborhood called Batan. It's a difficult area if you're looking to move to Ecuador to buy a house or an apartment, because property values are really high. If I were to try to actually buy a house in this neighborhood, I'd probably be spending between $300,000 and $500,000. But rents are okay. We pay $250 a month for a pretty large one-bedroom apartment. And it's a nice place. It's a nice building. It's a dead-end street. It's got a little park right across the street from where we're at. And the owner of the place is pretty easy to deal with. Speaks English. He actually lived for many years in the United States, so it's convenient for us. So daily routine, one of the things I do every day is I go and I buy almuerzos. I talked about that in an earlier video, but almuerzos is basically the lunch of the day. It's the affordable way to eat lunch in Ecuador. And what I do is I'll take some Tupperware from the house, walk up to our favorite restaurant, and I'll buy 4 almuerzos, which is the food we end up eating it for lunch and for dinner in our family. And it's about $2.50 a plate when I bring my own Tupperware. So this is the restaurant where I buy lunch pretty much every day. It's just a little hole-in-the-wall place, but it's really good food. Nothing fancy, but delicious and very affordable. It's right on a major street that's about 4 blocks from my house. One of the difficult to deal with things in Ecuador is the traffic. This is like middle of the day lull in traffic. Traffic is always pretty intense in Quito. It's a crowded city. It's 1 million people and a lot of cars on the roads. One of the nice things is you don't need to own a car. Right across from me here is one of the bus stations. You can take the bus anywhere in Quito for about 25 cents. And really, for not very much money, you can take the bus anywhere in Ecuador. Typically, the cost for the long distance buses is between $1 to $1.50 per hour of travel. It varies depending on the bus line. But for just getting around inside Quito, as long as you don't mind not having elbow room, you can go anywhere you want to go on the bus. So another thing I like about this neighborhood, very close by, 3-4 blocks away from my house, I've got a little medical clinic. There's grocery stores about 5 blocks away. There's also little places to buy like vegetables or eggs. It's not a full grocery store, but the cheapest way to buy just about everything is to go to a store that carries just that. So if I want to buy eggs, I go to a little store that sells eggs. If I want to buy vegetables, I go to a little store that sells just vegetables. And it's a lot cheaper than going to the big grocery store, though it can be a little more time consuming. So it's an overcast day, which I like. Quito, it's right on the equator. It's real high altitude, so when it's sunny out, the sun can be a little bit intense. I need to wear a hat and sunblock. So it's actually really pleasant when it's overcast like this. You can see some of the mountains around Quito up in the fog there. But it's a real comfortable temperature for me. It's maybe mid-60s today, not raining. It's just really nice out. There is the park that's right across the street from my house. One of the reasons I really like this neighborhood, because I'm able to take the kids right across the street to play in the park. It's right next to a church. And here's our building. It's a pretty nice place. I mean, it's not the most fancy, but it's definitely a convenient place to live. Taking you inside, there's a little courtyard. So this is our apartment. And right here, this isn't actually a bedroom. This is an area that me and my wife converted for us to sleep in, and also for our baby, Ian. There's his room. It's kind of a little mess right now because he peed the bed. That's Joseph over there playing on his computer. And I'm not going to show the whole place because it's a little bit of a mess right now, which is my fault. My wife is very busy today in school and I have not cleaned up. But back there is the kitchen, a bathroom, and also Joseph's room. So that gives you an idea of the sort of apartment you could afford in this neighborhood for about $250. Really, to me, it's a pretty good deal. It's a comfortable place to live. It's not a huge apartment, but it works for us. And the other costs are really low. I think we pay $10 to $15 a month for electricity, maybe $10 a month for water. Like I said, it's a really convenient neighborhood to live in. There's a lot of folks out there, a lot of people like me, that where you live is not where you work, or you work online, so you're not really tied to one spot. So if you can live anywhere in the world, you probably want to live in a place that's very inexpensive and also comfortable and convenient. That's what I find in this neighborhood. I travel for work. I don't work in Ecuador. Sometimes I work in the United States. This last year I worked in Antarctica. So I don't need to live where I work. It makes it very convenient for me to just go wherever I can get the most bang for my buck. And this is one of those neighborhoods. So what I'm able to do is only work a few months out of the year and afford a pretty high standard of living in Ecuador. I think there's more and more people of my generation that are moving towards this sort of lifestyle, because who wants to work 50, 60 hours a week until you retire and not really be able to afford to have a good life? For younger people living in North America and Europe, it's looking more and more attractive to just travel for work and then live in a country where your money goes a lot further. If you like this video, please remember to hit the like button down below and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to try to make some more videos like this, exploring other neighborhoods in Quito, also exploring other parts of the country. And I'm also going to try to do a series taking the bus around Quito, showing you what it's like to travel by bus in the city, where it's safe and where it's not. Really good information for those of you that are looking to either move to Ecuador or just looking to visit, and also hopefully fun to watch. Anyway, thank you.